God. Step in this barn, you about to get harmed. I stay in the field, controlling the farm. You niggas is weird, you bitches is born. My homie the plug, but stay with the charge. You calling it friends, I'm calling it fall. I get even, fuck them odds. Hide and seek like where them odds. Travesty like fuck them guys. I am the D, I am the Don. I be the queen, rockin' no crown. Don't get it twisted. With a 7.62 get loose, it ain't missing up in the kitchen. Don't get it twisted. When a 7.62 get loose, it ain't missing up in the kitchen. Got two big booties, one cleaning, one cooking my chicken. Man, that's almost old. I don't even eat chicken no more. But what's up, y'all? What's the deal? Welcome to Don Dada Reactions. Well, over here, we do reaction videos. And if y'all don't know, man, we switch it up over here. It's 7 days in a week. You feel me? And not every 7 days, we're going to just make it about like news, where we hitting topics. You feel me? We actually going to be doing like storylines. Today is Wednesday. Wednesday, we do storylines. You feel me? Thursdays, we do throwback Thursdays, you feel me? And it's gonna be a Black history, okay? Whether it's new history, old history, I feel like as I'm a melanated person, I need to get back into our history. So as we cover new stuff, we also got to cover the old stuff, because in order to know the truth, you got to get back to the roots. You feel me? I'm just loving my little microphone and my headphones, you feel me? I just love it. So as y'all could tell by the title, let's get back into it. Let's just get right into it. As y'all could tell into the title, so storyline today. Today's Wednesday, as you know, storylines on Wednesdays, right? Yeah, tune in if you like storylines. And the wildest story of Pooh, Shiesty, and Gucci Mane's biggest fallout. Like, I really wanted to know, like, hear this story in full. You feel me? No one really knows. You know, everybody's speculating. That's what YouTube is for. But if you take all the pieces and you put it in one, you will get a full story, right? So we're going to react to this video because this is something people need to react to. You know, this is a good debate. Some people might be on Pooh Shiesty's side. Some people might be on Gucci Mane's side. But as you know how we do over here, we not biased and we don't pick sides. We just play devil's advocate. So if we could put our little feet or our big ass feet in one of these people's shoes and we could see how they feeling, that's how we could get our reactions over here. So welcome to Don Dada's Reactions. So now you see how we get down over here. Let's get into it. Let's add this to the stage, and then we're going to do it like this. Hold on. Y'all ready? Let go.
Pooh Shiesty them did what it's supposed to do. When you claim you from that life, man, I told y'all this is a different kind of baby. I met Pooh Shiesty mama and took out running from her. I think everybody playing, but I don't think that little boy playing.
You're not some wild horse who can go out in the prairie and just go do whatever you want to other wild horses. No, you are a ward of the state. You still have to be where you're supposed to be. Otherwise, they can put you back in prison. He posted his paperwork proving that he wasn't a stitch. But 2 hours later, he goes and robs Gucci Mane. So the PO knows where you are at all times. So stupid.
Like, it's one thing, you're going to commit the crime, you're going to make a song about it, you're going to post it online, the evidence online.
Yeah.
It's like, how much dumber and deeper can you go?
Welcome back to another episode of Swamp Stories. For this one, we cover one of...
As y'all can see what it says, Swamp Stories, you feel me? Go up over there and like, comment, subscribe to my brother. But as you arrive over here, like, comment, subscribe over here, you feel me? Let's get back into it.
the most talented and popular rappers in the game. Probably the most influential rapper of this generation, aside from National Basketball Association Youngboy. But also the king of crashing out. No one, and I mean no one, can top this level of crash out. Even as a millionaire with his face plastered everywhere, he's still willing to commit crimes with his face open with zero thoughts of consequences. Even after facing 60 years in prison and then serving 4, he still did not learn his lesson. This is the embodiment of a king crash out. So get ready, because this video will have you laughing, sighing, and probably canceling your next vacation to Memphis. But before we get into it,
imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
let me run the intro.
Intro go hard. I like that beat. Anybody got some beats like that? Send it my way. I'm finna kill it. Let's go. I like the intro, but we just trying to figure out who this little nigga is, because he's young. And that's what y'all don't understand. Y'all OGs don't. These little niggas will do you. They'll park you, and not in the parking lot, in the alley. You feel me? For some reason, they not respecting y'all old heads. They learning what a lot of y'all faked it to your mate. And ain't that what you, that ain't what you're supposed to do in certain situations. You know what I mean? Epstein, he faked it till he made it. He never had the degree. You feel me? But he had the mouthpiece. Some niggas is actually being somebody that they're not. So when it's time to be yourself, you don't even know who to be. So yeah, no, that's fake it to yeah. But anyways, back to the top. You old niggas need to stop lying to these young niggas, because I'm telling you, look what's going on. This is a perfect example. Pooh Shiesty versus Gucci Man. Let's get into it.
Tennessee. And if you don't know, this is like... The story begins in South Memphis, Tennessee. And if you don't know, this is like Baton Rouge on steroids. Like if you're from the East or West Coast, whatever idea you have of hood, this is like 100 times worse. No structure, no real community, no cohesion, just pure chaos. This environment is so messed up that even if you're raised perfectly in a 2-parent household, you still might have to get with the business just to survive. But then in the case that you're raised in a fractured family that's in the streets, your chances of making it out of South Memphis are basically zero. Well, with that being said, I now introduce you to a man by the name of Lontrell Williams. Lontrell grew up in South Memphis, right in the heart of the dope era. And given Memphis's geographical position, it was actually a very important city for the drug trade. Right in the middle of the I-55 corridor made it the perfect location to distribute south to Louisiana and Mississippi and Arkansas and Texas, and then north to Chicago, Kentucky, Indiana, St. Louis. You get the picture. And that being said, Memphis created a lot of street thousandaires and some millionaires as well. One of these, and most importantly, our young man Lontrell. Lontrell came up slanging in the streets, but quickly outgrew Memphis and became known as the mob boss. The mob boss of what? Well, that would be the gang he created called the Memphis Mob. Well, with all of his street money, he was actually able to turn a lot of it legit with his legitimate business. He opened some local nightclubs, but more importantly, he started a record label called
Mob Ties Records. Wow. Okay.
Ties Records. So to get this straight, he's the mob boss of his gang called the Memphis Mob, and he opened a record label called Mob Ties. So obviously he had no plans.
So it's not Jay Prince? No. It's not Baby Boy Prince?
Concealing his street life. And as you'll see, not making smart decisions is a major theme of this video. Well, either way, being the mob boss, he got a lot of women. And along with that, he had a lot of children. Kids left and right. But most importantly, his very first son, Lontrell Jr., born in 1999. Despite having real motion and the ability to keep his son away from the streets, Lontrell did not do that at all. In fact, since his birth, he was raised right in the mix of it, being raised in the Cane Creek apartments with his mom.
A troubled South Memphis apartment complex is back in the news tonight after yet another tenant contacted ABC 24 about the deplorable living conditions there.
Literally inside the trap spots with all the bad influences right in front of him. And when it comes to violence, he certainly was not sheltered from that either. Why I say that? Well, because allegedly, his pops was big into that as well. And that takes us to the year 2004.
Okay.
It's now 2004, and Mob Boss has enough money to sign artists to his label. To this point, he spent tens and tens of thousands of dollars building out studios and signing local talent that he hopes can one day make it big. Well, if you can remember, back at this time, the biggest way to blow up was to go to a local radio station. So this is exactly what Mob Boss does as he approaches the biggest local station known as Q1075. And long story short, he goes to the label. He says, hey, I got all this cash. Can you promote my artists? And they say, no. And he says, look, I can give you more cash. And they say, no. Either his artists were actually trash or the label just didn't trust him and didn't want to take his money.
Facts. If you come with cash and you don't take the cash, gotta be trash. And you came with more cash and they still say no to your ass? That's crazy.
But either way, the answer was that's not happening. So of course, Mr. Mob Ties Records is not happy. And that takes us to April 12th, 2004. It's a late night in downtown Memphis, and Q1075 DJ Rebecca Glenn is asleep in her apartment. That's when she gets a loud, alarming knock on the door. She wakes up concerned, squints her eyes, and makes her way up to the front. And without even checking the peephole, she opens up the door. Boom! Right there is Lontrell's right-hand man, a mob member named Stanley Andrews. Instantly, Stanley rushes into her apartment and puts his hands around her neck. Sadly, this is where she loses her life. After doing this, Stanley quietly goes to her apartment, takes all of her belongings, and heads home. Well, the next day, after not showing up for work, her coworkers were concerned, so they went to her apartment, and there they found her on the ground. A real massive tragedy for the city of Memphis, but after everyone was done grieving, they were like, what the heck could that have been? Rebecca was well liked by everyone, so who in the world could have wanted to do this? For many days, police would have no clue. But then, somebody would make a dumb mistake. After receiving all of Rebecca's belongings from Stanley, our mob boss Lontrell would go to the mall and use her credit cards. Then, if that's not bad enough, he would list all of her jewelry and personal belongings on Craigslist.
Okay, now almost was... Sometimes you gotta, that's what I'm saying. This is why we gotta do history and all that. We gotta remember, we gotta take ourselves back. When they said Craigslist, I had to remember, nigga, take yourself back. Because I don't even think people get on Craigslist anymore. I think after Craigslist, it was Backpage. So yeah, was it really done or was it not? You know, I'm sure that was some old school stuff. So he probably thought he could get away with this. This hasn't been done, but I'm sure everything has been done. But yeah, I don't know. Let's go. It's crazy.
Under his own account. So just like that, in a few days, police would pick him up, and then days later, Stanley would be arrested for murder. All in all, mob boss might be America's dumbest criminal. Well, of course, Stanley would get life in prison, and for mob boss Lontrell, he would only get 1.5 years, and then he'd be right back home to Memphis. So I tell this story to show you that Pooh Shiesty, also known as Lontrell Jr., was raised by serious criminals, but also by dumb criminals. His
like father, like son is what this, I guess this story is about.
Father is the sloppiest criminal ever, but somehow he never really gets serious consequences. For example, right after getting out for this, he'd catch another felony, do another year, and then after that, in 2009, he'd get another felony, and then he'd do less than a year for that. If you're unfamiliar, in a state like Tennessee, this is impossible. They're just waiting to get you out of here. But as discovered in 2026 paperwork, he had been cooperating with police since the year 2007. This will be very important down the line.
Eve Online is a...
I mean, we all heard the allegations of what he about to say about his dad, but let's get to it so we could get to the reaction we need.
Now we move on. With his father in the streets and in and out of jail constantly, a young Lontrell Jr. never had real guidance, and sadly, he'd fall into the streets as well. Being exposed to everything at a very early age made him grow up way too fast. Believe it or not, by the age of 10, he was already breaking in cars and doing armed robberies, something that people that are like 17 years old still have never even thought of. But this was completely normal to him, and by the age of 11, he was already arrested and on ankle monitor. Basically, he wanted to be just like his father, getting fast money, getting all the girls, you know, doing whatever the hell he wants. And at this early age, the lifestyle was already rewarding him, as he had nice shoes, clothes, swag, everything was put together. And while you will get girls off this, in a city like Memphis, you'll also get a bunch of haters. So believe it or not, in 2013, at just the age of 14 years old, Lontrell Jr. would catch a hot one. The rumor states that somebody at school was hating on him, they'd go back and forth, and after school, he'd shoot him in the leg. So already at just 14 years old, he was fully in the streets and now almost lost his life. So on top of all the trapping and hidden licks, he was now carrying heat every single day just to protect his life. Now, mind you, all of that was just middle school, so now we fast forward to high school. High school would kind of be a great time for Lontrell Jr. because he was like the coolest kid.
I guess when you say things like this, I guess I ain't hop off the porch. Like, I was doing everything in the high school but guns and shit like that. You feel me? Like, there wasn't no guns involved. Niggas are getting shot. I had a lot of friends. I was very popular. You know what I mean? Fights, riots, all that, of course, yeah. But when it came down to niggas pulling guns, I haven't been in that situation, and I'm blessed. So if you have been in that situation, you know what I mean? It doesn't make you tougher than the next nigga. It just make you have more niggas that want to hurt you. You know what I mean? Either you just that flashy, you that nigga, or nigga, shit, you an evil motherfucker. Somebody just won't come get you. Hey, and sorry about the dogs in the back. You feel me? They ain't sleep yet. Let's go.
At school, and him and his homie Big 30, they'd start their own gang. This would be known as Choppa Gang, and together they were getting all the girls, the money, the guns. They were just lit. But not only would Choppa Gang exist at school, but it was also active in the streets. And obviously, being in a city like Memphis, just being in the streets will introduce you to serious beef. In this case, beef with a crosstown gang known as EBG, which stands for E-Bezel Gang, which commemorates a fallen member in 2015. Well, long story short, EBG is nothing to play with, and losses will go back and forth on both sides, but we ain't got time for that in this video. On top of that, to be honest, the details are very slim, because unlike Chicago, where the whole world is following who kills who, in Memphis, nobody really knows. I mean, the city averages like 300 murders a year, and only 100 of them get solved, so nobody really actually knows. Well, anyways, for Lontrell, living in the Cane Creek apartments, being a part of Choppa Gang, beefing with EBG, all of this gets him in another very serious situation. And that quickly takes us to June of 2016. It's the summertime before his senior year of high school, and Lontrell Jr. is outside living it up. And on this particular day, there happens to be a community basketball game organized by the police. Number one, it's a fundraiser to raise money for the community, and number two, it's a way to get the kids off the streets. So Pooh and his Choppa Gang homies go to the event thinking that, hey, there's a lot of police, it's definitely going to be safe. But that's not the case. Pow!
If you ever wanted to start your own clothing brand, but you didn't want to buy inventory, handle shipping.
Hold on, y'all, my bad. I be handling business like a motherfucker. That's why at first I thought I couldn't. Let's go.
The rival sees him and shoots him in the arm. Thankfully, he survives after being rushed to the hospital, but this just goes to show how dangerous Memphis is. If your rival sees you, it does not matter where you are, how many people around, or even that there's police around, they're gonna target you. Now, details on the situation are definitely limited, so I'm not gonna make anything up. But Pooh's rival EBG Jizzle would say in a song that Lil Rodney did it. To be honest, I don't know who Lil Rodney is, and I don't really care to know either. But
I sure don't know who Lil Rodney is. Nigga, I ain't even heard of a name Lil Rodney, so let's go.
Either way, from many accounts, after this, Pooh Shiesty would get seriously active in the streets. Bending blocks, catching ops, letting the chop blow. You get the picture. Well, after this scary call and the second time he's been shot, Pooh Shiesty is now approaching adulthood. And at 18 years old, it's the perfect time to try to do something with your life. So inspired by his dad's old record label, he begins making freestyle rap videos in 2016. Under the name of Pooh Shiesty, Pooh being his childhood nickname, and Shiesty, his reputation in the streets. Well, despite his freestyle videos getting some type of traction in Memphis, at this point he's still fully in the streets. He doesn't yet see the vision, at least not for 2 years, when in 2018, he begins to see the vision. This is when he hops in the booth for the very first time and instantly begins dropping bangers. Right away, he catches a buzz in his region, not only Memphis, but Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama,
Man, it's crazy. All you niggas who like start really making music out of nowhere and don't be rappers and stuff, y'all lucky as fuck. I ain't gonna keep it. I gotta keep it real because y'all, it was like the perfect place. That's what you call being at the perfect place in the perfect time. Half these niggas suck. I ain't talking about Pooh Shiesty, but I'm just talking about a lot of these niggas do suck. But it's because it was the drill rapping era. You could just be hard, just know how to be on the same cadence with the beat, and they gonna pick you up. You feel me? Especially if they know you a crash out. Of course, the labels is gonna pick you up because they know what they doing behind the scenes. But that's a different video. But yeah, let's go.
All that southern area. Still an underground artist, but he does catch the attention of a major mogul. In April of 2020, Gucci Mane discovers Pooh Shiesty and quickly brings him to Atlanta. Now for a kid from South Memphis, this is a dream come true. Gucci Mane wants to sign me. So quickly he heads out there, and when he gets there, Gucci Mane slaps $1 million on the table. $1 million for 5 albums and 80% of your streams. God. Damn. Please do not sign that. That's what we're all thinking. But in his situation, he has $1 million in front of him. He comes from poverty. So of course, he signs it. 21 years old with $1 million. I mean, it's really hard to say no.
That's all you think about is the money. You're not really thinking about the lifetime, the longevity, the future. You feel me? And you don't have nobody right there by your side that can make that executive decision. You feel me? And that's what he did not have. So yeah, he a young gangster, but he didn't have the street smarts. He had street smarts, but he didn't have those street book smarts. You feel me? Yeah, he didn't have those book smarts.
To that. But for Gucci, my God, did he pull off the heist of the century. He is taking a risk. You know, Pooh Shiesty could die or go to jail at any moment. But aha, Gucci puts a clause in the contract that if Pooh goes to jail or anything happens, he doesn't have to pay him his money. But get this, even if this does happen, he still owes him the 5 full albums. Well, either way, none of that matters for the meantime, because right away, Pooh Shiesty takes off. The 1017 cosign actually takes him to the national audience, and he packs it up with hit after hit after hit. So everything is going like a dream. The money, the cars, the fame, the hits. But yet, he still wants to be in South Memphis. Even despite Gucci Mane being like, bruh, come move to Atlanta, go move to Miami, you got the money, just get the hell out of Memphis. But just like his pops, Pooh just never wants to leave the hood. And that takes us to July 7th, 2020. It's a late night in South Memphis, and Pooh Shiesty is sitting in his car at a gas station. He and 2 homies chilling behind tents at one of the most dangerous gas stations located on Lamar Avenue. Chilling at a dangerous gas station as a now famous rapper, not a smart decision. Well, at 9:30 p.m., Pooh or one of his homies spot a suspicious car. So either Pooh or one of his friends who's sitting in the passenger seat cocks back their gun and simply waits. Then as soon as they see the man hop out of the suspicious car, they roll down their windows and begin to blow. Bang. Shots ring out back and forth, but thankfully not a single person is hit. And because this is Memphis, it's not investigated. I mean, shootings are so common that in Memphis, if nobody dies, it's really not a big deal. But either way, Pooh Shiesty's license plate is tied to the shooting, which will matter down the line. But when Gucci hears about this through the grapevine, he's like, Pooh, get the hell out of Memphis, bruh. So I suppose he gets the message after this dangerous incident, and he decides to head down to Miami. Now you'd think he'd want to lay low, make some music, make some more money, chill with the girls. No, just like his daddy, he can never get out of the South Memphis street mentality. And that fast forwards us a few months.
You know, when you're not in that life, you don't understand that mind. Like, you could say that all day, like, man, get some money and I'm getting out of the hood. Why you gonna get out the hood? Because you're not a hood nigga. So you don't understand that life. Nigga like that, when he got a whole bunch of money, where the fuck he about to go? Who gonna respect him? They think differently. And that's why a lot of us got to stop speculating and thinking we know stuff if we was in that situation, because a lot of us wouldn't do that. Niggas would freeze up. You feel me? So that's why I like to do reaction videos, because who's to say what that person was thinking? Who's to say what people are dealing with? Everybody raised different, and everybody's city, state is different. Memphis just said that they would not do no investigation if nobody died. But that's if they think nobody died. What if somebody hit the body or whatever the case they may think? So Memphis police feel like, nigga, shit, I ain't about to go hard in the paint because at the end of the day, I could be one of them.
To October 9th, 2020. It's a sunny Friday morning in Miami, and Pooh Shiesty rents out a slime green McLaren to use for a music video.
Okay.
So to make this happen, he meets up with the rental guy, a man by the name of Brandon Cooper. Now, Brandon is not your typical rental company. Like, he's not doing any paperwork, or it's more so, hit me up on Instagram, give me some cash, you can use my car for the day. So at 12 p.m.
Oh, yeah. He's asking to get robbed or shiestied out.
Pooh and a couple of his homies arrive to Bay Harbor Islands to meet up with Brandon. They arrive in a black Maybach, and they pull in right next to the McLaren. So Pooh Shiesty hops out, Brandon gets out to meet him, shows him the car, and then has him sit in the driver's seat. Of course, Brandon hops around, hops in the passenger seat, and begins to show him how to use the car. So while they're dealing with all this, Pooh is also awaiting a shoe guy to come sell him some shoes. 12:22 p.m. The shoe guy arrives in a Mercedes and backs in. Well, as soon as he pulls in, two of Pooh Shiesty's homies, Bobby and Jaden, hop out. And instead of buying shoes, they whip out guns and they begin to rob him. Man, give me all the designer before I turn this Draco into Mercer. As they're robbing him, one of them accidentally lets off a shot. Pow! And this is when Pooh gets the message. So while sitting in the McLaren, out of nowhere, he whips out a Draco and points it at Brandon. And as Brandon quickly tries to jump out of the car, Pooh lets off a shot.
Wow, I didn't know all that shit. Hold on, y'all. Damn, that's crazy. That's spicy. Hold this shit up. Now that's spicy. I swear I thought I seen this video somewhere right on the Instagram, but it was by itself. But the way that they were trying to print the narrative was on some little Dirk shit. So really, we don't really know if this video is real or not. It's just, but it seemed like it's real. The green McLaren's right there. Like, man, niggas will show you a wad of money and still rob your ass. Be careful. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your partner.
He hits him right in his butt. In the video, you can see Brandon running off holding his backside, which I don't even know how he did that. A 7.62 at close range? Whoo! But quickly, Pooh pulls out with the McLaren, speeds off, and then his homies speed off in the Maybach. However, while driving away, he leaves behind a duffel bag full of $40,000. But either way, they somehow get away and seemingly get away with this. Okay, first of all, let's just analyze how dumb the situation is.
Did he really leave? Got away with it? Nigga, you paid for it. You left the $40,000. Unless it's another story saying that he came back for the $40,000, nigga. You $40,000, nigga. That's good for the day. And I got shot in my ass, nigga. I'm cool. I'll take the $40,000, nigga, in the bag with the bullet in my ass, nigga. Go ahead, nigga, and don't bring that shit back. I ain't got time. See, shit like this, I don't got time for this, and this is why niggas don't. I don't want to do the gangster shit. I'd rather sit right here and do the computer shit. I ain't gotta look on my shit, nigga. Oh, you know what I mean? You ain't gotta do all that. You ain't worry about niggas being your friend. Oh, what's up, nigga? Yeah, it's a fake ass nigga. Like, you feel me? I ain't got time for that. It seemed cool for y'all little niggas who ain't been in the hood and didn't grow up in that type of shit. But fucking life lesson, nigga. I grew up in it, and it's nothing fun, bro.
First of all, even though you arrive with $40,000 in cash and clearly are able to buy the shoes, your boys decide to rob the shoe guy for no reason. Then, for no reason at all, you decide to shoot the car guy in the butt with a Draco for no reason.
That's what I did.
Then you take off and leave a bag full of cash with all your fingerprints on it.
For no reason.
Lord have mercy. Dumb.
Dumb and
maybe
dumber.
Even dumber than his dad. But yeah, I don't think his dad would have even done this.
Hold on,
but again, because he saw his dad go his whole life committing crime after crime and not getting in trouble for real, and then he himself did the same thing and didn't really face consequences either, he thinks that he can just get away with this and it's no problem. Well, for the meantime, it's true. Pooh can simply do whatever he wants. And a month after this incident, he dropped the biggest song he's ever dropped. Come get it, Back in Blood. Back in Blood featuring Lil Durk absolutely takes over the country and even Europe as well. This not only makes Pooh Shiesty a sensation, but also a staple in the game. Now you might be thinking, all this success for such a bad dude. But maybe think twice about that. And now that introduces us to his brother. I now introduce you to Pooh Shiesty's half-brother by the name of Terrence Henderson, also known as T to P. Growing up, Pooh and T were like more than brothers, really best friends in the world. So when Pooh's career began to take off, T was of course excited, like I'm gonna be right next to you too. However, during this time, T began getting migraines that progressively got worse and worse and worse. But despite all this, T did not want to go to the doctor. I mean, one, he didn't have health insurance, but
Come on, black men. This is another thing. Listen to this right here. Come on, my black man. Get you some health insurance. Go get yourself checked out. The hardest man in the world got a sweet side. From little boys to men, you know we all cry. That was just something I wrote a long time ago. Don't worry about that. What I'm just trying to say is, look at this man. He's so gangster and so hood. He's scared of the doctor. Sometimes it's just there. It's right there in your face. The hardest, the game bangers, the hard man, that y'all just sweet and y'all sensitive. That's what's giving off.
also he's like, I'ma just thug this out. Well, eventually it would become excruciating, and after being rushed to the emergency room, doctors would discover brain cancer. Things are looking bad, and on top of this, because he doesn't have health insurance, it all has to come out of pocket. Surgeries and treatments that I'm talking.
Y'all niggas is holding a wad of money. Health insurance ain't nothing but starting off at $100 a month. Come on. If you niggas really love your homeboys, nigga, here, $100 a month. Every month, I'm giving my homies $100. Go pay your health insurance, bruh. Everything else, I don't care. But you gonna make sure that you're healthy.
At the minimum are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. When Pooh gets word of this, he doesn't even think twice. Just pays it, boom. Handle anything you need to handle. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars just for the slim chance that his brother will survive. Sadly, though, after many attempts to prolong his life, he passes away on February 18th, 2021. This, of course, devastates Pooh tremendously.
Rest in peace to his brother.
Just like that. But instead of sitting around moping, he decides to use this as motivation and do exactly what T would want him to do. Keep dropping hits and run up the millions.
Yeah.
Well, because he only owns 20% of his streams, he's extra motivated to do a bunch of shows, clubs, walkthroughs, whatever he can to run it up.
Damn.
You know you make me wanna.
20% of the streams, and that's why I say he must have been street smart, but he wasn't really book smart, and that's why opposites attract. Where was the book person? Who had his back that knew the books and how money works? Because you could do this all day, but you would have been doing a lot more if you had more than 20% of your streams. And this is why it all makes sense why he wants to rob Gucci Mane or whatever the case may be. We're going to get up to that. But 20% of your streams, bruh, I'm not signing. I don't care. I'm not signing. Bro, you heard the little piece I gave you in the intro, and then watch the little piece I gave you in the outro. Just listen to the words. Like, I'm not signing nothing, bro. 20%. $20? No, bro.
Too cute.
And that takes us to May 30th, 2021. It's a late Saturday night at the famous Miami club King of Diamonds, and Pooh Shiesty is set to perform a few songs for $30,000. So at 2 a.m, he arrives with his crew. He pulls up to the club with a pistol in his waistband, $20,000 falling out of his pocket. Somehow he makes it through security with no problems. He hits the stage to perform. While he's performing, a fan grabs at his pocket and his money falls down to the floor. Naturally, after seeing this, people go down and they begin picking up his money. Some people to hand it back to him and others to put it in their pockets. Pooh Shiesty is under...
Ain't no, nigga, I'm putting it in my pockets. That nigga Pooh Shiesty. Nigga, I'm Dada reaction Shiesty. Nigga, let's get it in. Fuck you mean?
Understandably pissed as he bends over to grab whoever's grabbing his money. And as he bends over, the club security see the gun on his waist. So the security approach him and they begin to escort him out of the club. Pooh Shiesty, being who he is not thrilled with this. So once he gets to the exit of the club, he whips out his blick and bang! He shoots one of the security guards in the ankle. He and his crew run to the car, spin off, and somehow seemingly get away with this. Once
this nigga ain't playing. Okay, Pooh Shiesty is a gangster. He is just a dumb gangster. And I agree with maybe not the America's dumbest, but dumb he is. And only because he wouldn't be in this situation if he didn't choose to have a whole bunch of fucking money stuffed in his little ass jeans. Okay, them little ass jeans. And then when he bent over because he was mad that his money fell out when the person grabbed it. And he was grabbing the person who was grabbing his money. Nigga, he said, I'm going to get it back in blood.
Again, doing wild ass shit for no reason and getting away with it. At this point, he's doing whatever the hell he wants. Shooting a dude in the butt with a Draco in a McLaren, then driving away in the McLaren, then shooting a security guard in the foot for no reason. He's getting all the money in the world, all the love, the girls, the fame, everything. And he thinks that he just will never get in trouble for anything. But right in the midst of the biggest run in his career, the rooster comes home to crow. On July 7th, 2021, he's indicted by the feds.
South Florida rapper is facing a judge after police say that he was involved in an armed robbery. NBC6 reporter Claudia DeCampo has more on the charges he's facing.
He's an entertainer. He goes by the name Pooh Shiesty.
His real name is Lontrell Williams, and prosecutors say on October 9th, he was involved in an armed robbery in Bay Harbor Islands.
Several people agreed to meet 20-year-old Lontrell Williams.
Detectives said Williams arrived at a parking lot near East Bay Harbor Drive in Town Hall just before 2 in the afternoon. A black Mercedes Maybach followed and another black vehicle. Then, according to the arrest warrant, while the alleged victims were talking with Williams, 2 men from the other black car approached them with guns, shooting at them, and Williams allegedly pointed an assault rifle at one of them. Williams, aka Pooh Shiesty, is from Memphis and had recently signed on with recording label Gucci Mane's. Now he could face life in prison if convicted of armed robbery with a firearm, a charge that usually has no bond.
It ends up being attempted murder, armed robberies, shootings, conspiracies, you name it. And with these charges, facing over 60 years in prison. When the news breaks, everyone has 3 thoughts. Damn, so he wasn't capping in his lyrics. Wait, he's really dumb. Why would he do all
this? Nigga ain't capping in his lyrics. He is really about that life. The shiesty, he said, nigga, the shiestiest nigga is right here.
that? Yeah, his life and career are definitely over. Bye-bye, you ruined it all. Go enjoy eating out of a tin tray for the rest of your life.
No, he will not be eating out of a tin tray. He will be having commissary, knowing who he is. He has a lot of respect, and trust me, he will not.
And why everyone thought this? Well, firstly, it happened in Florida, and they don't play.
And sorry, just to pause it real quick, because whatever the fuck that was in that tray, that looked good. It was mixed vegetables and a piece of bread. It didn't look like slop. Like, shut that shit up.
But secondly, the feds picked it up. Well, given the fact that he moved so sloppy and left a whole trail of evidence, everyone thought that, hey, he's just better take a plea deal.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
His lawyer thinks the same thing. There's really no way I can prove you're innocent. So instead, I can try to get sympathy for you and just hope they give you a lighter sentence. Your Honor, you see, my client had a really difficult life. He really doesn't know any better than the life he lives.
I did too. So if I do the same shit, can I get a lighter sentence? At least I ain't even had no motherfucking money. So my sentence should be even a little bit better, because at least when you get some money, nigga, you're at least supposed to change the way you think, change the way you eat, change the way you live, right? No, this nigga went worse. So at least, nigga, give me that chance, shit. Like,
his father was in and out of jail his entire life, and he grew up right in the middle of one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the world.
And my daddy was on crack. My daddy was from fucking Chicago and then went down to goddamn LA to the jungles. Do I get the same? Do my brother that's in jail get the same treatment? Because we trying to get him out right now. Been in jail since he was 17. He ain't got the Pooh Shiesty money. He ain't do what Pooh Shiesty did. Can he come home? Sympathy, huh?
He already went to juvenile hall at 11 years old, and then he was shot at 14, and then shot again at 17 years old. Then his music career takes off, and right in the midst of it, he loses his brother to cancer. If you give my client a second chance, I promise you he won't mess it up. Well, the sympathy works, because now instead of serving 60 years, he serves 63 months. Just a little over 5 years for 2 shootings and a robbery? I mean, can't go wrong with that. So he begins his prison sentence on January 4th, 2022. Now, when most rappers go to prison, their careers pretty much die out. The next wave of rappers come along and everyone forgets you. But for Pooh Shiesty, even in prison, he remains relevant, because that's how big his impact was. It wasn't quite young boy levels, but somewhere in the stratosphere. So despite having to sit down for 5 years, the future is really bright, because when he gets out, he's going to be right back to it. Well, with that being said, we fast forward 11 months into his sentence when Pooh receives some devastating news. On December 22nd, 2022, his close friend and fellow 1017 rapper Big Scar passes away.
This is about a Memphis rapper connected to Young Dolph.
Okay, now it's getting good. Hold on. I'm glad I made it on point on time, because Big Scar, I wanted to see about this too. Because another allegation, or allegedly a rumor, is that Pooh Shiesty is also mad that when he was in jail, you know, his cousin Big Scar passed away on Gucci Mane's watch. So that's another thing that a motherfucker can't pinpoint what really happened to my cousin, nigga. Because I know whatever. Yeah, let's go.
This is what was posted by rapper Gucci Mane on his Instagram page. It shows a picture of Big Scar along with the caption that reads, "This hurts. I'm going to miss you." We are hearing the rapper died today. He was signed to Gucci Mane's label. Right now, we are working to learn how he died. Big Scar was about to go on tour with Key Glock next year. He was just 22 years old.
This, of course, devastates Shiesty, but then it turns into anger. Why?
So if Scar, hold on, now that's some crazy shit. If Scar is related to Shiesty, but Scar was finna go on tour with Key Glock, but Key Glock was part of this Young Dolph situation. I'm paying attention. Now that's a whole nother situation. But now we see where the lineup is. And now we see after Dolph is gone, we see who all popping and okay, let's go. Memphis to the end, huh? Memphis.
Because shortly after the passing, Pooh Shiesty would get word that Gucci Mane wants his 1017 chain back from Scar that he gave to him when he signed to his label. And apparently, Scar's family was taken aback by this. Like, damn, you gave him this chain when he signed to you. Now that he passes away tragically, you want it back from us? Man, that ain't right, bruh.
Allegedly, they said that Gucci asked for Scar's 1017 chains back after he passed away. And they said that
we're still trying to figure out how Gucci even looked like that. That nigga did not look like that. None of this looked like him. Even if he was to work out and get brand new veneers or whatever, his chin structure did not look like that. The neck did not look like that. How the hell do cloning even work? Like, you feel me? Let's go.
That Gucci really did nothing for the funeral or nothing for the family. And this is actually, we have audio of the brother and sister talking about it.
The minute that them folk called your phone to see if you were gonna pay for the funeral, you blocked them. That's not real, cuz. On God, that's not real. You ain't straight and you ain't getting them chains, cuz. It ain't no way that's happening. Thought we just gonna let that go, cuz. No, it's over. You played.
So whether this is true or not, when Pooh gets word of this, he is pissed. Like, man, what the fuck is wrong with Gucci Mane? Now I'm looking at you sideways, because where's your loyalty to your artists? Do you not care about them at all? Is it all just about money for you?
And so I heard the chain is moistenized. It's not even real. Like, why want the chain back? Now that's what's confusing. Is it really moistenized or is it really real?
Here is where tension starts to grow from Pooh Shiesty towards Gucci. And from here, it only gets worse. Like I said earlier in the video, Gucci put a clause in the contract that if Pooh gets locked up or anything happens, he does not get his full money. So the entire time that Pooh Shiesty is locked up, he allegedly does not receive any money from his music.
What? What type of deal is that? Oh, no wonder. No wonder. Why would, see, the thing about it is this nigga signing shit like this. But see, Pooh Shiesty in his mind, he's like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Come on, sign the shit, nigga. Anything happen, nigga. I'm gonna get my shit. I'm Shiesty.
So while sitting in prison for nearly 4 big years, he's in there like, damn, this motherfucker owes me my money.
Right. Okay.
Are you a low-skilled worker looking to immigrate to Canada? Look no further. This video will discuss the top 5 Canadian.
I'm noticing Memphis does that a lot. You know, I know that Gucci Mane ain't from Memphis, but it seemed like that happened with the Glorilla situation. You feel me? With her sister, whatnot.
And now we fast forward.
With her sister, you feel me? But let's go.
To his release, October 6, 2025. Pooh Shiesty is finally home and everyone is excited. And right off the bat, he drops an absolute banger. FDO. Of course, it goes
FDO go hard, and my sister put me on it. I wasn't even listening to this little nigga. My sister put me on. She said, "Sis, you ain't heard that nigga? That shit go hard." And when I tell you I heard it, and I wasn't really too fond of it, but one day I was at work, y'all, and I had my headphones. You know, you got the headphones in. It's a different. It hit different. It's like a different tune. So boom, it's like it's literally there. But boy, when I was hearing those lyrics, I said, "What? What? Who is this?" And I said, "Oh man, FDO." I had to screenshot it and send it to my sister as if that was the first time I heard it. Like if she didn't send it to me, you feel me? Like if nigga like, that was crazy. FDO.
viral. Actually, one of the first rap songs in a long time to get up in the charts. So unlike the rappers of the past who got out of prison and really couldn't get their buzz back, Pooh Shiesty was instantly right back on it. So after seeing that he still has the sauce, labels began to tap in. In fact, this is when, allegedly, Yo Gotti offers him $10 million to sign to his label and to leave 1017. Ooh-wee, it sounds good. But the problem is, he owes Gucci Mane 4 more albums. So he's stuck for a while. And on top of this is when he finds out that Gucci made over $25 million off his streams while he was locked up.
Wow.
Oh, hell nah, bruh. So you wanted Scar's chain back after he passed away, and now you're making all this money off me and didn't want to do me right? So this is when he or his father come up with a big master plan.
Not the big master plan.
January 10th, 2026. It's a big day for Gucci Mane as he and his crew are headed to Dallas. Why? Because this is where Pooh is doing his parole and he invited him to come to the studio.
Hey man, look, I know everything, everything messed up, but come to the studio, let's talk business.
All right, let me stop. Long story short, Pooh Shiesty hits up Gucci like, hey bruh, let's talk business, let's get in the studio.
Hold on, come on, why is this acting like this? I need you to tighten up, brother. Whatever's going on, tighten up. Yeah, tighten this shit up. Come on. I don't play that internet shit. Come on, brother.
Make some hits and get over our issues. So of course, Gucci's like cool and he...
No, why is it acting like this? Y'all can see right here, everything Gucci. Everything Gucci. Let's go.
Gucci Mane as he and his crew are headed to Dallas. Why? Because this is where Pooh is doing his parole and he invited him to come to the studio.
Hey man, look, I know everything, everything messed up, but come to the studio, let's talk business.
All right, let me stop. Long story short, Pooh Shiesty hits up Gucci like, hey bruh, let's talk business, let's get in the studio, make some hits, and get over our issues. So of course, Gucci is like cool, and he, his cameraman, and his security guard fly out to Dallas. They arrive at 1 p.m. and they head to the address that Pooh provided. At 1 p.m., they arrive to the building that the studio is located, and of course, Pooh Shiesty isn't there. He's running late, so Gucci and his guys figure, hey, to kill time, let's head to a liquor store, grab some cups, grab some drinks, just to, set the vibe. So while they're doing this, our good friend Mob Boss, also known as Pooh Shiesty's father, is at Staples printing out a contract. What contract? Well, specifically a release form that releases Pooh Shiesty from 1017 Records. Well, while he's printing out the contract, Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 are planning exactly how they're gonna do it. It being convincing Gucci Mane to sign the contract. Well, finally, at 3:27 p.m., Pooh Shiesty and his guys arrive to the studio. They shake hands with Gucci and his crew, and together they all head upstairs. So they're all sitting down in the studio chopping it up when Pooh Shiesty gets a call. Who is it? His parole officer telling him that he needs to go home immediately. Overhearing the convo, Gucci's like, hey bruh, Just go home, handle that. We'll go in the studio another time. I'll stay here in Dallas. Don't even worry about it. But nah, Pooh Shiesty hangs up the phone call and says, nah, bruh, it's all good. I ain't tripping off that. Wait, actually, bruh, Gucci, I just want to talk to you one-on-one. Let's go in this side room. So together, Pooh Shiesty and Gucci head off to the side room right next to the studio. And this is when Pooh Shiesty asks him a simple, straightforward question. Can you please release me from my contract? I don't want to be signed to 1017 anymore. And if not, can you give me my 20% that you owed me while I was in prison? This is when Gucci Mane pretty much responds, look, bruh, I ain't got the money for you. Let's just figure out these last 4 albums. That's it.
I mean, we don't really know what Gucci Mane said in there per se. This is just what the Swamp Stories figured he said. Because if he didn't say that, why would he rob him? You feel me? So he had to say something like, as if this. But allegedly, all this is allegedly, and this is just educational purposes. You feel me? Disclaimer is up. You feel me? In full effect. All this is just allegedly. We don't really know the truth. You feel me? This is an opinion, and I'm doing a reaction on someone's opinion. But it all makes sense, and he's doing a great motherfucking job, right? Let's go.
I don't know what he expected, but Pooh Shiesty is not happy with the response. So this is when he allegedly signals to Big 30. Please release me from my contract. I don't want to be signed to 1017 anymore. And if not, can you give me my 20% that you owe? Boss, also known as Pooh Shiesty's father, is at Staples printing out a contract. What contract? Well, specifically a release form that releases Pooh Shiesty from 1017 Records. Well, while he's printing out the contract, Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 are planning exactly how they're going to do it. It being convincing Gucci Mane to sign the contract. Well, finally...
Is that it? I know it's not it. I got to figure something out.
3:27 p.m.
Shit like this, what do you do? There it is. Okay. First of all, my camera is off still. I forgot. Okay.